Yeah.
Okay.
Not yet.
No, it is loud now.
Okay.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome to this the next session of this webinar. The team is back. Almost all of us are back to work. We've moved into the new space, which is still a work in progress, but it's really exciting. And we're just gonna, like every time, we're just gonna do a little bit of housekeeping to see if everyone can hear us before we get into action. Perfect. I think everyone can hear us perfectly.
Okay, great.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, so I'll just quickly give you guys an overview of what we're doing or what we're talking about today, and then we will take it from there. So essentially today we'll be talking about the payment plans that have already gone live on the site, and one more that's coming in shortly, not very soon, but it will be on its way. We'll talk about how they've performed, how they've been performing, if, what kind of effect have they had, which is all positive, which is really good. But we'll just go in a little bit of detail on that. We'll also talk about the July sale. So we are having a repeat collector sale, repeat collector only sale in July. So we'll give you a brief overview of what's happening. We will be sending a detailed email tomorrow with all the details about it as well. So you'll have that in writing. And after that, Sarah will talk about a few different things, some exciting things coming up, and then we will just address your questions at that point. So when we talk about things, feel free to put your questions in, as you always do. We'll keep a note.
I'm sorry.
We'll keep a note of it while we're going, and then at the end, when we finish those points, we address those questions. Okay, cool. Let's get started. All right. So payment plans. So as you would have already noticed, ArtMoney, Bluethumb Laybuy, and Afterpay are now all live, and they are on the website. What we did was we installed them, or we implemented them in steps. So first we did ArtMoney and Bluethumb Laybuy. Then we did Afterpay. The reason we did that was because these are big chunky things, plus there are a lot of different levels involved in terms of user experience. We wanted to make sure that everything is being done properly, and if there were small issues here and there, we could quite easily fix it. So everything has gone well. ArtMoney and Bluethumb Laybuy have been on the site for over 2 months now, and only positive things to report. People are quite happy. We've learned from how people are using it, and we will keep updating them, mostly in terms of how we communicate about their payment sites, which is mostly related to buyer sites. It has not a lot towards the other side of things, which is a good thing. So we'll keep improving that. With Afterpay, it's been really positive. It's only been on site for just 2 weeks now, but the response has been really great. We've seen traffic coming in from Afterpay side as well, which is really handy, because this means that these are new people who are finding out about your artworks from Afterpay and coming to Bluethumb, which is excellent. We've been working with them in terms of getting more promotional opportunities, because already, like, Bluethumb is one of the biggest retailers, sort of thing, for Afterpay, and we're hoping that we will get more and more promotional opportunities from them as new orders come through, which is really exciting. The other thing I remember, we all remember that when we were initially discussing ArtMoney and Laybuy and all these things, there were a lot of speculation about people using discounts and combining discounts with it. And I'm happy to report that everything has been positive. So with ArtMoney, we disabled any discounts, so people can't actually use discounts along with ArtMoney, so that has been really good. With Afterpay and Bluethumb Laybuy, we haven't seen any discounts coming through, and if people do ask for it, we discourage it as well. So it's all been really positive. And the other payment plan that is on its way is called Zip Money. It's also quite good. It's quite similar to Afterpay, has a bit more flexibility, and also provides a little bit more credit value. So with Afterpay, people can only use it for orders under $1,000, but with Zip, they can use it for as much as they like, which is quite good. Zip Money is also a quite established company in Australia, so a lot of existing people already use it quite well. So it will be quite good to get some promotional opportunities from them as well. Cool. So this is the basic payment plans. These are big changes. So when we do these things, we implement a little bit of it, see how it's performing, if it's affecting any other aspect of the user behavior part or the journey of the collector, and then we make changes accordingly. So you will see small tiny changes on the side here and there, which are mostly just to increase the ease of browsing the site for the buyers. We also keep making changes based on the questions that people ask quite frequently. I'll talk about just a few different points towards the end of it about those changes that we've made recently. Cool. I'm sure you will have questions. Just keep putting them in the chat and we will just keep copying them and address them at the end. I'll quickly jump on to the collector sale part for July. So, as you know, Bluethumb doesn't usually have sales. But we do have one or maximum two sale periods in a year. So this is one of those, and it's most likely we won't have any other sales this year. It will only be next year after this. What we're doing is this sale is only for repeat collectors. So people who've purchased from Bluethumb before, only they get this communication from our side. So this is presented to them as a thank you for the support that they've shown for us and the artists before, and we give them these discount codes. These are not made available publicly on the site, so if someone is coming to the site for the first time, they won't see it. The way we communicate with them is multifold. We email them, we text them, we also send it through the online chat pop-ups like you guys do get, but we have the ability to control who is receiving it, so it will only go to people that we actually want them to go, which is quite handy because we don't want to set that idea that there are sales on Bluethumb. We don't. This is one of the reasons why we usually don't ask the artists, you guys, to share these codes on your socials, because when that happens, it sort of gets out in the wild and other people can use it, which we don't really want to do because we want to set that pretty strong image that this is not a discounted site. New people who are first signing up, they're not getting these kind of discounts. But in this, because it's a collector sale, we will share the codes with you guys, and if you want to, you can share it towards the end or during the sale with the collectors that you've had previously. So if people have bought from you before and you want to share these codes with them, you can do that. We will have all this information in an email tomorrow as well, so you'll have everything in writing. And once you have that email, you can ask different questions about that as well. So essentially, this will be a 3-week sale, starting at first week of July on the 4th of July, going all the way up to 26th of July. We are very careful and very selective on how we run these sales, and also avoid the idea that they can expect a sale at some point in time. So people, when they do expect that, they sometimes, even if they want to buy something, they would want to wait for even a few weeks or sometimes a month to wait for the end of month sale, etc., which we don't want to do. So if people actually like something for the first time, we want them to buy it at full price without any discounts. So the way we communicate it with the collectors is quite important, and we control that quite strongly as well. When the sale is on, what you can do, I'll just go into a few points on that you can do for while the sale is on to get a little bit more traction. Make sure that if you have new artworks, you are uploading them just before the sale or during the sale. That is always good. That means you get more visibility through the new art section, through the popular section, all those feeds. What you need to also remember that if you do remove or delete artworks to upload them again, don't do that while the sale is on, because if someone's already seen something and added to cart and you remove it and re-upload it, it will automatically disappear from their cart, and even if they go to the old link and click it, they won't find it. They'll have to search for it again, which can be a little bit discouraging for them. So don't delete artworks just for the purpose of re-uploading them during the sale. The other thing you can do is reorder your profile to make sure that all your best artworks are at the top. So I've seen that a lot of profiles will have the newest artworks, which is by default, which is fine. But if they're only prints at the top, or your smaller artworks at the top, those are the artworks that are going to get the most visibility. So make sure your best artworks are at the top. If you're not sure how to reorder, we can send you instructions. It should also be in the help center, but it's quite easy now with the updated dashboard. So it's just a simple drag and drop if you're on a computer or a mobile as well. So do reorder your profiles. And like I said, when the sale is on, we will share the codes with you, but do only share them with people who've bought from you before, just as is practice for us as well. Yeah, so that's basically the sale overview in a nutshell. If you have any questions or any suggestions or any ideas about the sale, feel free to reach out on the chat or help. It's always good. Cool. I think this is all I had to go through. I'll let Sarah go through her points and then we can come to the questions.
Okay, great. So I just wanted to talk about a few different things, but I thought I would start off with holiday mode versus availability. So there's been a little bit of confusion between the two, and I just wanted to clear everything up, especially if anyone's going on holidays, so you understand what you're doing when you put your profile on holiday mode, or if you set works to unavailable, sorry. Great. So just with both options, so holiday mode and availability, they do keep your works live on the site. So people can still view your works when they come to your profile. It does mean, though, that they won't be able to purchase straight away. So it won't be a straight add to cart. It will say inquire now instead. Okay. I missed my spot. So I think I just wanted to say as well is, like, when people come to the site and your profile, they can be in like a buying mode straight away. So delaying them for anything or like getting information to them late can put them off a sale. So we have these in place so that we can get information to them quite quickly. So with availability, you can do this at the time that you upload a piece, the first time you upload an artwork, or you can go back and edit your artwork from your artwork dashboard and change the date. And it's got options there. You can set it to 3 days, 7 days, like 2 weeks, a month, and 90 days, something like that. So if you do change the availability, it also gives you the option to leave a note. And please do this. I just want to give a couple examples here which could really help us straight away if you do leave a note. Say a few people, they work in oils and they'll upload a piece while it's still drying. If it's still drying and you've got there the date that it'll be available in 7 days and you've left a note saying it's drying, we can actually, if someone inquires about that, we can actually just change the availability straight away and just let them know. The only reason why this is set to unavailable is because it's drying, so it will take a week. It'll be a week before they're able to send it to you. So that just cuts out the middleman. It means we don't have to contact you, and it just keeps that flow and going quite fast. People get their answers as soon as they're on chat with us. If something's in an exhibition, obviously leave a note there, say it's in an exhibition. If you set the time and say it's a month away, but you've set it to, I'll say that again. You set it and it's like a month and a half away and it'll be available again, just leave a note there. If it's in an exhibition, we can just say to someone, look, it's in an exhibition. There's a chance it might sell. Would you like us to contact you again once the exhibition date is finished? And it just means we have the answers straight away, and it stops that sort of delay between us and contacting you and that whole thing that happens. Same with framing as well. A few people frame their works before, and this is totally fine. If you put it in, again, if you put it in the note section, we can just let people know that this will come framed. This is their other framed works. This is what it will look like. You're free to purchase it straight away, and bam, you get a sale quite quickly. So what I want to say as well is, because the drop-down menu only has a few options, say you're away for, or say it's a 2-week drying time, or like, I'm doing a good job of this, like a 16-day drying time. Obviously, if you set it to 2 weeks, that if someone purchases it after that 2 weeks, it's still in that 5-day window of when you'll need to have it shipped by. So just keep those dates in mind as well. If you set it a little bit earlier, that's always better, because as long as it fits in that sort of 5-day window that we suggest to the buyers, that's fine. So just try and get as close to the date as possible. A few days leeway. If you know you're setting it unavailable for a month, but it's actually available in 28 days, set a reminder, maybe go back and change it. You'd be surprised when people are in that buying mode. They just want it straight away, and any sort of deterrent can stop that sale. So that's what I wanted to say about availability. So holiday mode works a little bit differently. And it's really quite simple. You just go onto your dashboard. There's a beautiful button that says holiday mode on off. It highlights when you click on. So you just press that. If you're going away, another box will come up, sorry, and it will say, ask you for the date that you're returning or back in studio. So my suggestion is maybe set it to a couple days before. If you're traveling overseas, you're going to be jet lagged, maybe set it to a couple days after you're back. I'm really thought about this. I've thought about it a lot. But what actually happens when you do that is, again, it sets all your work to inquire now. So it's still available on the site. People can still see it. If you're setting work to holiday mode, you're giving us also permission to sell it while you're away. So we know that sometimes internet connections might not be great, but because it asks you for a date, we know you'll be roughly back around that day. We just let the collector know, and then they can purchase it straight away. So that's our T's and C's. Make sure you're aware, if you are going on holiday, that you are permitting us to sell your work while you're away. So going back to pressing the button, the holiday mode button, when you press it, the drop box will come up and it will ask you for a date that you're returning. What happens is we send you an email on that day that you've elected, saying your profile is still in holiday mode. You'll need to go in and automatically switch it off. So it doesn't do it automatically. You need to go do it. So it's a great email reminder, but again, there's some manual labor involved to fix it. Great. Okay, so where was I? We have had an update, and this is quite fresh. I don't know if anyone's noticed it yet. I only found out this morning. That's how fresh it is. But if your work is placed on holiday mode, underneath the Inquire Now button, it will say, artist away from studio, this date, would you like to buy it now? And they can click a little buy now, add to cart link, and it can go straight in their cart, and you can purchase it. They can purchase it. So it's really important to know the difference between availability and holiday mode. If you don't want that to happen, you have to go in and individually mark every work as unavailable if you don't want it to sell while you're away. So be aware of the two, and if you have questions, let me know, because I know that might be a little bit confusing. Great. So moving on, we're going to talk about events with Bluethumb at the moment. Ongoing events. Anyway, so I'm very happy to say that we are part of the first ever affordable art fair in Melbourne. So if anyone's not aware of the Affordable Art Fair, it started in the UK, has international success. They do really well in Asia, and they basically invite galleries to come and exhibit work, and they invite all these galleries into this. It's going to be like in the exhibition centre building. My words.
Yeah.
I'm nearly there. So yeah, it's a big event. It's really fun. There's lots of selling. It's like a big art fair for galleries, and I've seen photos. It looks great. First ever in Melbourne. We're really excited to be a part of it, and so just thought I'd let you guys know. It's if you're a Melbourne artist, I think if you plan it well, you might be able to score some free tickets, because like they're giving tickets away, that sort of thing. So keep an eye out for it. We'll have our own stand there. There'll be a few of us there as well, and we'll be selling all our works, making heaps of money. Hopefully, we don't know, but most likely. And so we're really excited. Wanted to let you know it's in September, the 5th to the 8th. We're very excited. I'm very excited. Trez is very excited. He's okay about it. He's, indifferent. And so that's the Affordable Art Fair.
This is my excited face.
Yeah, he doesn't give much away. I don't know. You've got a really good poker face. Yeah. Anyway, so the other thing I want to talk about is trade shows and fairs and events. So I know on social media, we've been posting on our own social media different events that we've had. So far we've had 2, one in Perth and one in Melbourne, and Alex and I both went to those events. They went really well. We spoke to lots of architects and interior designers, and it's really just opening up, getting ourselves recognized, that thing, one of those words, recognition. That was close. And they're going really well. They're going really well, and we've got a lot more planned this year. So everyone's going to be working really hard. Putting them together, they can be difficult, especially if they're in other cities. So I know we've got a few more planned for Melbourne and a few more planned for Sydney. So they will be happening. Again, we'll put it all on social media. You can follow it. They're really fun. And then also keep in mind that because they are in different cities, some of us will be traveling a little bit more. So just keep that in mind. But that's all I have to say. I got through it. Your turn.
Okay, now I think we just need to get to the questions.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Maybe we can start by the end towards the end. Yeah, go.
I did save them.
Yeah, no.
Okay, cool.
Cool. We just start from the end, so it's fresh at that point. Sarah was asking from Andrew Walker's profile, how does it work if you're not a Melbourne artist? How will you decide whose works you'll be showing? I'll let
in affordable
art.
Yeah, so we actually had to put a selection forward already. So we've already got that's kind of already underway. We really just wanted to see how this one went. So we selected the artists. But yeah, we just wanted to see how this one went. We don't really know what to expect. We've never actually been allowed to be a part of a fair before because we're awesome and people are scared of us. But yeah, so that's what we're very fresh to this. But once we've kind of got a plan in place and we've done the first one, I think then we'll look into opening it up a bit more to everyone else.
Most of these art fairs, just adding a little bit, most of these art fairs, when they ask for selections from artists, they do have an idea in mind as to what style of artworks they're looking for or what budget of artworks they're looking for. And based on that brief, the curators at Bluethumb, they put forward a selection, and then that's how.
And then it's yeah.
Haley Kruger was asking, where do we find the notes section when marking the artwork unavailable? So if you select the other option, so there will be whatever it is, 7 days, 14 days options. There will be one last option which is other, and then you can actually a note section will open up and you can actually type it in. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll just go.
Where are you up to?
I'm just going back to the questions. So Paula Payne's question was, can we put an artwork on special to collectors from our file? Yes, Paula, you can. So when the sale's on, we will share the discount codes with you guys, and you can share them with collectors with your collectors if you wish to do that. So you can, we'll send you an email tomorrow, which will have all the information on what you can say, what the codes will be, how to use it, and all that kind of stuff. You can share that with them. Haley, I'm just going from bottom to top.
Oh, okay.
Because it's easier that way. Haley Kruger's asking that there's a glare on my face, which is, I'm sorry about that, Haley. Yes, it is intentional. We are still figuring out, we're still sort of in the process of getting this gallery in place. Most likely, when we have the next webinar, we'll have everything set up. So you will definitely see, we'll give you a tour, and you'll definitely see a very beautiful space, and everything will be planned out.
It's really nice. It's so nice.
Yeah.
I can't wait to share it with everyone.
Yeah, Sarah and Alex have put in incredible amount of work because I was conveniently away when they moved the office, so they have put in a lot of work. Gillian was saying that is wonderful about Afterpay traffic. Yeah, Gillian, we're really happy about that as well. If you do use Afterpay, if you go to their app, you will be able to see Bluethumb as a store, which is quite nice. Jules from our marketing team is talking to them constantly and hassling them about getting some extra promotions, which will be handy. Cool. And the last question was from Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia. So when is payday now? I know this one.
All right, go for it.
So we do our accounts do the banking on Tuesdays and Thursdays each week. In saying that though, so this is what you need to keep in mind is the artwork's delivered, then there's the returns period has to part. So it's the 8th day, the day after the returns period that we count the day as being with them for 7 full days. And then what happens is if that 8th day is a Monday, we paid on the Tuesday. If the 8th day is a Thursday, you'll be paid the following Tuesday. So I don't know if that makes sense, but basically after the 8th day, whichever day comes first, Tuesday or Thursday, you'll be paid on that day. When pays go through as well, you'll be sent an email to notify you that you've been paid for that artwork. And I'm pretty sure that's per email. So every time, if you sell 3 artworks that week, you get 3 emails of confirmation.
Lisa Francis Chet was saying you need to have a big TV screen in your booth that shows lots of art from BT.
Yes.
We might.
We've got some plans. I've got a few plans. I'm very excited.
With the trade fairs and art shows like that, especially with the trade fairs, which Alex and Sarah have been to, what they found out is that people actually like to know and see things which are tangible. So, they would like to see an actual small artwork, or they would actually like to see a brochure, or, meet face to face, because most of the people who came to us and talked to us, they kind of knew, they've heard Bluethumb's name, or they kind of knew what the concept is. But when we actually talk to them, and then they can actually talk to a person who's involved on the ground that they can actually shake hands with, it takes that relationship to a completely different level.
Yeah.
And a lot of times with these trade shows, sort of the kind of success that we want from this is usually it takes a long period of time, because it's kind of like building relationships. So you meet a bunch of people, and then you follow them up with different things, and we send catalogs, and then eventually when they have a project, then we will pop up, and then it will come from them. So it could be next week, could be after a month, could be after a year, but it always pays off. Yeah.
Takes time. It's relationship building.
Yeah. I know there was a chat about subtitles. YouTube takes its time. It's not something that we control. All we have the option is to take it on. Sometimes even after the video is done, it updates that automatically. So it should come in. It should come in quite soon. Hi, Sue.
Oh, she's late.
That's right. We've been doing really well with the timing because we wanted to keep it really concise and give you guys more time to ask questions if you have any, which is always good. So we'll stick around for another 5-10 minutes and answer any questions. I'll just quickly address the long load times on the artist dashboards. I know there was a lot of chatter on the Facebook group. I did get mentioned a couple of times. I did answer there as well. Essentially, what's happening and what has happened is we've changed the way. So basically, we get so much traffic that the way we used to sort things had to change, and that change obviously is a big one because it's a complete transition from one sort of way of storing stuff to another. And even when we push the button, when we push the OK button, even after that, just the actual process that the actual time that the computer takes to process is in days. So it takes all that data securely, moves it to another space. That time was quite a bit. And we had, I mean, this is sort of like a bit of collateral damage, but we had to do that because we didn't want to lose any data while we were doing this. So we were also storing that data, but it was obviously not being displayed. But now all that's done, you will see that your dashboard will load. It might take 5 seconds to load, 5 to 10 seconds. Also depending on your internet, because every time you go to your dashboard and you refresh, your computer asks our database to send live data to you. So depends on your internet connection as well, quite a bit, how much the load time is. This morning when I tried my profile, which has 90,000 artworks, it only took about 10 seconds, which is quite good.
Yeah. So Nola O'Keefe has just questioned, has there been any update on artists being able to list several different types of work in categories, i.e. oil, watercolor, acrylic, rather than just mixing them all up?
No. Short answer. The way the profile works, all the artworks that you list will still be in one profile for every artist. Collections for artists, or rather like folders or albums for artists, is something that has been done conceptually on our side, but it hasn't been implemented yet. The reasons behind that are quite technical, and also just sort of like it just made sense to put them in that kind of order. So the things that are being worked on now, it's much better to get them done first and then move that in, because it's just a complicated decision. The concept is all done, and we definitely want to do it because it does make sense, but it just hasn't been done yet.
So Sue Died has also said, how long is it going to be before we will know what's in our customers' cart?
How long is it going to be before we will know what?
So what artworks are to add to cart?
So
like
I'm assuming that Sue's asking you asking that which of your artworks are in people's cart, because you won't be able to see a customer's cart because they might not have an account, or they might have different artworks in their cart. So I'm assuming you're asking which one of your piece is in their carts. It's done on a stage. Those features are still in the beta testing mode. So some artists do have the ability to see that. We have the ability to see that. But it might take a while for that testing period to go on, because it's a very complicated and quite data heavy feature. So we need to really thoroughly test it before we make it live to all our artists. Cool. I'm glad I got it right.
Cool.
Monica is saying, I believe Jillian mentioned in Facebook, if it were possible to have space to include whips, which I'm assuming is work in progresses. Sorry if I've jumped ahead of you, Jillian. Yes, that again is a part of the updated profile for the artist, which is also in beta testing. So that feature is already done and been built. It just hasn't been released to all the artists. It will be at some stage, which we don't know when it is at this point. I'm just reading Jillian's comments. Was there a first one?
It's about...
All right. Okay.
Video, I'm guessing, for tile.
I know Kathy's issue with the reorder. But Kathy, maybe I can just talk to you separately because I remember that case quite well. Cool. Awesome.
Great. So that looks like that. Last chance to get in any quick questions. It's a really short webinar today.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
It would be good to get your guys' feedback as well, because we see that, because we don't do a lot of, end of financial year sales and sort of like every small occasion like Mother's Day and Father's Day sales. It would be good to get the feedback from you guys as well. Like, what do you guys think about it? Because that does happen in a lot of, different websites. Not here. Maybe you can create a post on the Facebook group and we can actually talk about it. Because we all have different opinions when it comes to promotions and what kind of promotions and how you actually get to customers, how you actually convince them to buy it. Obviously, a lot of you will have the artist point of view. We kind of see both point of views. So it would be good to get that sort of conversation going as well.
Yeah. Too many sales might not be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of our philosophy. That's why we only really ever do 2 a year.
Yeah. Also, we never do it to all people. We don't just do it in open because we don't want to set that kind of expectation where people would think, if I just wait 1 month, I will get a sale, so I can get 15% off instead of buying it for value. So we don't do that. Yeah. If you bought with us before, only then you will get that kind of option.
So,
I would truly like I'm just reading Noah's comment. I would truly like for the rules of the FB chat to not include personal promotion.
Yeah.
I agree with what Noah's saying, and with the Facebook group as well, we try to not
intervene.
Yeah, bring the stick out too much because it's not a good experience. But it's just something that we should all keep in mind is that behind every profile and behind every person that you talk about, from the group or from Bluethumb, there's an actual human being. So when you do talk about other people, sometimes the topic that you're talking about might not be very popular. Always be respectful. It's something that doesn't really need to be said, but just be mindful of that when you're talking about people, just be compassionate, give them the benefit of the doubt kind of thing. Also with the group itself, don't self-promote or likes for likes is kind of fine. I don't know, different people have different opinions, but just understand that it's an artist group. The intent for that group is to support each other as an artist. If you have questions about your practice or something that you want to learn or you want to learn from someone else's experience, that's what that group is for. But just sort of keep those things in mind. We try to not delete posts or sort of ban people and stuff like that from that. We do get in touch personally if we see that someone sort of posted something that shouldn't be there. But yeah, just be a bit mindful about that, that's all.
Yeah. So Lucinda said, saw one artist with studio shots included in their profile overview. How do we go about that?
Another feature for the updated profile, you would see some artists, and by some I mean a few artists with those kind of features. They are not available to all artists just yet. They are going through the beta testing. And at some point in time, they will be available to all the artists.
Marianne said, have sales been slow? No. I don't think they have been.
No. And we don't really, overall, we wouldn't go into that, but depends on where you're talking about, because, this is June especially, and towards the end of June, everyone's having sales. So people, in our experience, people get saturated a little bit. So, they might not go for things at this point anyway.
Mm.
I personally never buy anything when a sale is on because I know that it's all like obviously not about art, but you know, when anything, I just feel like people stock things that didn't get sold last year and then bring it out.
Mm.
It's like eating specials at a restaurant. I know that it's from yesterday. That so
That's
never
so
go
funny.
for specials.
Never
and
go for specials.
Never buy anything at sale.
Oh gosh. Oh.
Cool. I think we've
I
reached
think
the end of the questions list.
Mm.
Cool. It would be good if any of you would want to start a thread about the, you know, your opinions about this different sales and different tactics on the Facebook group. It would be nice to see that, but no pressure.
Yeah.
Cool. I think we've reached
the
end of questions.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, just one more.
Yeah,
Lisa.
we'll just do one more.
Lisa said, how is international marketing going?
International marketing is picking up slowly. Again, we always face that question of whether we want to do the expansion or whether we want to build what we have a bit better. And we always choose to build us a little bit better in Australia, which you can see that we do. Now that you guys know how small we are in terms of team members, and when we build these massive features, it takes a bit of time. So we have to quite carefully choose what step we take first, especially when it involves a huge sum of investment. So when it comes to international marketing, we still do that. We still get sales. Our international sales have increased quite a lot in the past, I would say 3 to 4 months, mostly through trade and sort of like designer references. US-based interior designers have been quite interested in Australian art, which is good. But we don't have like a dedicated international sale going on or whatever, like promotion going on at this point.
Yeah, we're trying to be the best here.
Yeah.
Before we go anywhere else.
Yep.
Lots of sandwiches and chickens.
Right. I'm glad my agenda got through to you guys. That's good.
I like these analogies.
All right, cool.
Okay.
We'll wrap this up, guys. See you guys on the group. Be nice. And we will see you in a couple of weeks.
Yay.
All right.
Ciao.
Ciao. This might take